Let's look into principles of pig management. What are principles? These are the fundamental truths, rules, or guidelines that serve as the foundation of a system of belief, behavior, or practice. Principles of pig management, they apply universally, but their implementation must be adapted to the local climate, the resources that are available, and also the production system. In pig production, the first principle is the breeding. And what are the core actions in breeding? You should select healthy and high-performing breeds. For example, the large white, the landrace, the Duroc. If you are aimed for commercial production, we don't expect you using the indigenous breeds. We expect the high-performing breeds. And we expect controlled mating, which can be natural and can be artificial insemination. The mating has to be controlled. The second principle is the nutrition. Feed or the balanced diets should be provided to the pigs, containing all the nutrients that are required by the pigs, from energy, protein, vitamins, and minerals. There should be a balance. And usually, we follow the guidelines from the SARS, Standards Association of Zimbabwe, and also NRC recommendations. Currently, the pig feed is divided into grower, breeders, winner, and so on. In pig production, you should ensure there is access to clean and fresh water. Why do we have to be perfect on nutrition? This is because feed constitutes about 70 to 80% of the total production cost. Hence, poor feeding results in slow growth, diseases, and losses. For example, if we feed our pigs with a feed high in fiber, they are affected by necrotic enteritis and they will be scoring, which is the diarrhea. The principle number 3 is housing. Adequate space should be provided with ventilation, temperature control, and the house must be dry. Cleaning should also be done daily, and you must also put some bedding in the houses. The house must protect the pigs from extreme heat, cold, because pigs they do not tolerate too high temperatures or too low temperatures. They need adequate temperature. If the temperature is too high, they become stressed. And stressed pigs are prone to diseases. And stressed pigs have also lower reproductive and growth performance. Under stress, pig conception rates are poor. So we need to reduce this. The other principle is the reproduction. In terms of reproduction, you should be accurate in heat detection. And also, farrowing, which is the giving birth of pigs, must be monitored. You should know all the signs of heat so that you service at the right time. And we'll look into the signs of heat on the next slide with some pictures. The other principle is the piglet care. At piglet stage, this stage is the most vulnerable stage of a pig's life. Therefore, you need to handle it with caution. Soon after birth, make sure that the piglet suckles colostrum, which is the first milk, within 6 hours of birth. And cholesterol provides some antibodies, which are the immunoglobulins, that protects against diseases. As we all know, piglets are born without or with pure immunity. So how do you ensure that the piglet suckles colostrum? You have to assist the piglets to find the teats so that they suckle. And if the litter size is too big, sometimes you have to milk to collect the milk using a bottle and then feed the piglets with that bottle. Warmth also needs to be provided to piglets because piglets are born with little body fat and they have large surface area relative to weight. If they cannot regulate body temperature well, so you need to provide a source of heat. And in these days, infrared lights or infrared lamps are being used. During pregnancy, there is poor transfer of iron from the sow, which is the female pig, to the fetus. There is poor iron transfer, and hence we need to supplement iron to the newly born piglets. Normally, iron injections are administered to piglets, and sometimes if there are no iron injections, a red soil can be used since it is a source of iron. And sometimes some iron capsules are now being used. In terms of piglet care, creep feeding is also recommended. Creep feeding help the transition from a milk-based diet, which is a liquid diet, to a solid diet. And this will help to reduce stress after weaning. Another principle is record keeping. Records should be kept, for example, average daily gain, feed intake, FCR, mortality, and also the total number of animals, day of service, litter size, etc. And this will be done to ensure traceability and also performance testing or performance analysis. The other fundamental principle is the welfare. Stress should be minimized in pig production, even in pig handling, and also even transport to the market. All operations to be done in pig productions should be done in a way that reduce stressing the animals. Another fundamental principle is the waste management. Pig waste has high abundance of E. coli, which has a potential to cause some diseases such as diarrhea and scouring in pigs. It is recommended to remove the waste regularly, and the waste can be used for composting and for biogas production. Another important principle is the economics. The feed cost has to be controlled, and the market has to be planned ahead. So in conclusion, principles in pig production are very essential. They are the rules of success. If you ignore them, your farm is likely to fail. You should respect each of them. One of the most important key principles is heat detection, which is also called estrus detection. This is a practice of identifying when a sow or a goat, which is the pregnant pig, is sexually receptive and ready for mating or artificial insemination. It is a fundamental principle of successful breeding management because accurate heat detection directly determines the litter size, the farrowing rate, the number of times a pig gives birth per year, the non-productive days, and also the overall herd profitability. What are the signs of heat? Number one, there is the reddening of the vulva. It appears red and it starts swelling, and sometimes there is a clear mucus discharge. The sow or goat become restless. It doesn't feed. It doesn't eat. Feed intake is reduced. It mounts other goats or sows. And it also stands when mounted by a boar, which is a male pig. And sometimes a pressure test is done by applying pressure at the back of the pig. If it remains standing, it means it is on heat. So heat detection is mainly done in the morning or in the evening, in the AM hours or the PM hours. And in terms of servicing, we do what we call AM-PM rule. You detect it in the morning, you service through artificial insemination or using a boar in the evening. So AM-PM rule is done to synchronize with ovulation, which occurs 24 to 36 hours after the onset of heat. So after servicing, be it AI or using a boar, we check for the signs of heat again for after 21 days to see if our sows have conceived.